Yeah, hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, everyone. Yeah. So, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the last three classes we've had earlier, and also going to try and touch maybe some parts of designing with Figma that I might not have covered in the last three classes. So I am going to be teaching this by designing a one-page portfolio website for a front-end developer, a friend of mine though. So that's what we are basically going to be working on today. So let's get started. All right. So okay. So a quick introduction to Figma interface. We have our home button here that leads straight to the home page of Figma. On the left corner, we have a down menu that leads to our own personal page and the community page where you can see other template and assets or plugins installations. We have the team. So these are the team that I belong to, companies, team that I work with or I've worked on in the past. And so let's just get into it because I'm seeing as time goes by, I'll still be going back to the interface. So and along the way we learn. So like to start every design, we need to start with a canvas. Every great design starts from an empty canvas. So let's pick our frame. So I'm going to, because we are going to be designing a website, we're going to be taking the desktop view approach basically because this is going to be a portfolio website. So let's come here and choose desktop. I'm going to buy my book, so let's go with desktop. All right. So we already know to zoom in is minus, and to zoom out is minus. To zoom in is plus key on our keyboard. And before you start every design, start your design basically by having your assets or um, the stuff you need for the design, basically your design assets ready before you start designing. It's advisable to do that always. So I'm going to head over to font share. So this is the platform I use for looking for fonts when I want to work on a project. So basically, Sponsored is a kind of open platform where users can get fonts. So I think I like this font basically, but okay, let's just look. So I'm trying to create a tech font. So a font that will be a bit techy. I think I like this chillax. I like this. So let's just go with this. But along the line, I'll still take us a class on typography though. So let's just go with this for now. Just go with it. I think I like this font. It's almost sleek. So so let's view family. It's really nice. So let's download it here. Download family. I hope it's free, sure. It's free. So let me go to my download. Then we have to install the fonts on our local engine. So let me just extract. That's a piece basically. So let me extract the fonts. All right, that's done. Chillax. So let me just install the font on my. So always install for OTF. This is for your desktop, but this one is for web. So for example, if you want to share this font with your developer, just share this web file. So they will put it in the CSS file inside the web file. But we are going to be installing the OTF on our PC. So I'm just going to install each version of it. Okay. So some of us might be familiar with all these things, so you can just like fast forward all these parts when you are watching the video recording. And most time you don't really need to be downloading fonts. You can just chill with the font in Figma, Google font in Figma, but just to create a kind of unique feel, because you know a lot of people use all those fonts. So just to create a kind of distinct design, you can just choose to just go the extra mile and look for a definite font to use on your project basically. So we are done here. Chillax. So and I'm looking to make the design less graphic. I don't want to use much of image or illustration, so we'll just be making use of the developer's image, and then just typography and the rest of that. So okay, so let's get started. So I always advise when you want to start your design, always set your layout grid. So you come here and select layout grid, open your grid, go to column, then let's go with 12 column grid. Okay, let's use a margin of, so the margin is like the left margin here. You know, most websites don't start from the edge of the screen. There's always this kind of margin by this side, left and right margin. So let's go with 80, pardon, 80. So you can see, sorry, let's use 100. Yeah, then let's look the gutter the way it is. So now this one advantage of this is that it helps to make your design to be somehow consistent and well laid out. It helps your design to be well laid out. So let me just put this, okay, yeah, yeah. So I'm just zooming in and out. So I want to add another layout grid. So this one is column, so let's add a row also. So yep, so I think this okay. So yep. So but I want the column to be view, yeah. So let's close this. All right. So to start, let's create our first frame. So click on frame, you drag. So frame is just more like a kind of grouping. It helps to keep your work clean, and makes life easier for your developer. So you can also come here and double click and name your frame. So I'm going to name this my header. Have like your navigation bar basically. So the here is a frame here, and then okay, sorry, let me check something here. Let me check whether chillax. Okay, I just want to check the name of our font. So chillax. All right, so we have to restart Figma so that it can see our new font. So let me just close start. So I'm going to open my Figma again. Okay, all right, so everything is there as it is before. So yeah, chillax. Now we have our fonts available. So okay, Oluwa. So let me just use this as our logo. Oh, okay. Let's go with bold, because this is going to serve as our logo. All right. So the person's name is Somalong. It's W. So one advantage of using frame is that you can easily align stuffs. You can easily align stuffs. So you can align here. You can align to the left, center, middle, any way you want it. So I can only align to the center here and just use my arrow key to shift it to the edge of the line. Then align to the center. So we have Oluwabunmi portfolio as our logo. So this is our logo. And since we say we are just using this as how do I put it now? As a one-page portfolio website. So then we have our about. So let me just create my nav menu. You have about me and portfolio, was basically what's the use of a portfolio website without the portfolio section. Then my menu. So naming your component or your assets makes life easier for your developer, because basically as a designer, you design for three set of people. You design for your stakeholders, that's people who hire you. You design for your developers, and you also design for your users. So you have to consider this three set of people when you are working on your project. So on this right panel, I'm going to I have access to edit my the content in my auto layout, so I can align the content to the middle, top, down, depending on the number of content I have. I can increase the spacing here, so you can see that it's increasing. So let me just use 12. And another piece of advice, when you are working on, let me 30. So when you are working on a design, always try to work to avoid decimal points. Always work using don't avoid using anything like points, decimal points, because it will not be easy for developers to develop your design if you are working with decimal points. So always make sure that you are working with whole number. So, or most especially even numbers that are divisible by 2. So it makes your design to be mobile responsive. So you know you can just like designs screens are in pixels or in PDI. So they are basically always divisible by 2. So for example, if you see something that is 4 on desktop screen, if you are to view it on mobile screen, it's either you arrange it as 2 by 2, shey you get, so to now be 2 2 2 2 2. So that way it makes it to be easily divisible by 2, unless you just want to line up everything in one correction, that's vertically. So I'm going to now drag this into my frame. Yep. So we have my about me, my portfolio, and contact me. So we are done with our header nav. So now the next section on every website is the hero section. So the hero section is the section that really talks about what the page is all about. So when we are talking about hero section, let me go to Chrome now and show you some website I have opened there. So this is what we call a hero section. So it's the first page, the first set of section you see anytime you open a website. So it's always like have a kind of summary of what the product or the platform is all about. So this page stack landing page, and this is the hero section. So everything here is the hero section. You can see now. Now this is now where you now start to get to know about the product and stuff like that. But basically, this is the hero section. This is a nav bar. So they are using a sticky nav bar, and this is the hero section. So that's just what hero section is just all about. So in case I give you guys a task or an assignment to design a kind of hero section, then this is what I'm looking at having just this section alone, this first section alone. That's what I'm looking at having basically. So let's go back to our Figma board. So now the next section is now our hero section. So let's start. Hello, I am below. Okay, so then another advantage of using grid line is I can easily um see where I want to span my design with the content width. So let's say I want to just fill in half of the screen here so that I can have image here or something like that. Yeah. So depends on preference. So and in other classes I already told us or showed us how to install plugin. So I'm going to be making use of a plugin here, Iconify plugin. So I want to add the developer social media link on this page here. So just going to open Iconify. So I want to put the Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Facebook. Mm, so that's Facebook, Twitter, import Twitter, and then LinkedIn, import LinkedIn. And when you are using icon, try to use the same set of icon to maintain consistency. So if you notice my icon, let me just bring them out to be more visible. I think I made mistake with Facebook. Facebook. Let's just zoom in. So this is what we have here. So I want to increase the width and the um height of this stuff. So I'm just going to come here and let's choose 36. So as I said earlier, we should avoid using decimal points. So I'm going to change this to 36 by 36. Okay, sorry. Okay. 36 by 36. This one also 36 by 36. So another thing about design basically is that the more you design, the more you discover stuffs. That's just it. The more you discover stuffs. So I'm going to add auto layer to this because they are like family members. So shift A. So if I want to now align it to the center of each other in the middle, so this basically, so let's just increase the space. And if I also want to auto layout in vertical, so it's responsive, so you can see down left. So just going to change our color to black basically because I want to just work with black for this part. Then later we'll now be doing the CSS part. That's the aesthetic part. For now, let's just have the layout. So I also want to add another layout for this content. So holding down your shift A. So it's sorry, pardon. So let me just first make this one to be a family member. So hello client and this they are related. So shift A here first. So you can see that it shifts to the left here. So I can just come here and now change the alignment to left. So I can change the alignment as I feel like. So you can see how it's changing. So you can play with all these stuffs. So let's just reduce the spacing. Then let's add this also. Shift A again. So now it's just now we're having group inside group. This is one auto layout group. This another auto layout group. So anything I add to this will be between this group and this group. So let me make the spacing here 18 and then make the spacing here let's check 26. All right, 26. Then I'm going to create a CTA. Yeah, so I'm going to create a CTA inside the frame. So I'm going to put this text contact. So what I've basically done is to create the contact me button and to create the hero section image. So just to save us time, and as I always say, always try and group your work. Pardon, always try and group your work into frame. So that helps developers when they are exporting assets. When they are exporting assets, basically, it really helps their life a lot, like a lot of time. So it helps. Okay. So yeah, we are done with our hero section. So the next section that we're now going to work on based on our navbar is about me section. So this basically will be talking more about our developer. So we create another frame also. So let me just make this one a bit wider. Okay, I think this should be okay. So yeah, we are going to be talking about the developers skills and the rest of that. So let's start with the H1. That's header. So that says about me, right? Yeah, about me. Let's enter align it. So that says about me. So let's just use semi bold for that because it seems our and then increase that to 36. Yep, 36 should be okay. Yep, 36. So about me. So under about me, we are going to have my skills, my skills, my skills. So okay, yeah, let's shift it here. Then let's go to Unsplash. Let me shift it here. Let's go to Unsplash. So this I also have a plugin called Unsplash installed on my Figma. So let's just try and put something there, a kind of image or illustration. I think I like this one. I like this one. Anyway, and another thing, if you want to make life easy for yourself, always create a frame or a square when you want to import an image. So let's just do that. I'm sorry, I should have done that first. So let me just create this so that it will fill this space. So that will switch it. So now let me now import this inside there. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a very good day. So I'm going to add this also in auto layout. So let me just make this to be a bit bigger. Yep. Then center align this. So we can now reduce the space in between them. Yeah. Okay. So that's our about me section. Then let's move ahead to my portfolio. So let me just create a frame again. Sorry, did we name this frame? No. So this about me frame, my portfolio. So here we have let me just create it there. Listed uh, previous some English stuffs, and let's align it to the left, and let's reduce this to 20 pixel and regular please. So we are going to I'm just going to do another lazy man job and reduce this my button here so that we have but now I want us to have two buttons here. So I'm going to shift it to fill in these two columns. So we have view on GitHub Git. So this one, okay, let's use view source code website, right? So they can view the source code and they can view the live website. So let me just auto layout this together, this and this and this auto layout, and then auto layout this. So what I'm now going to do now to make life easy is to make this a component. So one component is just like another way of making life easier for you as a designer. So when you're using components, reusable components, you can easily like, so for example, assuming I made this my button a component, I can easily make a change to one button and the change will reflect in the rest of the button, but I don't want to like overwhelm us. But I'm going to make this particular one a component right now. So I'm just going to drag it out here and make it, click on this icon here and then make it a component. You can see that it changes, the color changes. So this is the master component, like the mother. So now I can now duplicate this component and it will now become a variant. So let me bring the variants here now into our frame. So let me show you something now. If I change anything here now, it shows, it will show here, it will be showing here. So even if I have like 50 copy of this variation, the changes which automatically shows on all these variations. So the changes will automatically show on this variation. So tomorrow now, if I want to change this button now, and I've already have like 50, so another advantage of variant is, for example, I'm working on a big project, like I'm working on a big project and I have buttons, and maybe my stakeholder come and say like, okay, Phil, don't like this button or use another background color. You know, that kind of ethic of now starting to changing the button color of all the buttons on the project or concerning the file, that's going to be tedious. But assuming I've made the button a component, I can just go to the master component, change the color or the typeface, and the change will reflect all over your Figma file. So that's just that about component for now, but there is still a vast usage of component that you'll be discovering along the line. So let me just duplicate this also and duplicate this also. So I'm just going to auto layout this shift A. Okay, so let me make this system the middle. Yup. And I also want to like make it to be in duplicate. Yep. Yep. Let's make it 60. So that's my portfolio. So our wireframe is looking awesome already. So these are my portfolio. These are my portfolio, the client portfolio. Then we have the contact me section, which is the last part of the project. So let me still do lazy work again and duplicate the whole section. Mhm. Now I'm going to delete this part that I don't need. So we have contact me. Reached out to the developer for project. So let's have telephone telephone telephone. Telephone. Send us a message. So you can use this to just capture user details. So let me just let's go with no. Okay, send me a message. So let's just do something simple for this section. Mm, you know what? Okay, let's just go with it. So your name, group name, number. So we have the name. So I'm just also going to make life easier for myself and just since I'm going to reuse this, I can just make it a component and duplicate it. Email, email, and subject, subject. We have so I need to increase the width of this one. So we have your message. So another advantage of component is this. So let me just show you something. Let me just reduce the height to 60. The height of these three will reduce, and I can also change this. So I don't want to use 16. I want to use 18. So I can use 18. So everything changes. And if I want to increase like the length also, it works. But this one isn't a component, so I have to like do it on its own, basically. uh So now auto layout, Let's reduce the space to 14, and then auto layout again. This our button is not inside this frame, so I need to it's inside now. So let's increase the frame, bring this down here, and add auto layout again. So our content has been aligned to the left, so to maintain consistency we have to align this one also to the left. So you can just come to our auto layout panel controller here and left align it. Let me increase this to 20. Yowa. And then let's increase the length of our stuff. So now we can now also do something again. Bring this section, duplicate, come here, bro, then put it here. Let's put it here. Let's put it here. So we now have our contacts copyright 2022. So this basically covers for the basics of what we um gone through so far concerning the class. So even for someone that have not like joined us since the beginning of this class, you should be able to get a grasp of the basic requirements for the use of Figma as a design tool as a design tool. So okay, so I'll just tidy up this one later, and we all have access to the Figma file, so we can just come to our Figma board to go through the content on it. And for anyone that don't have access to it, you can just send your email to the group, and I will send you an invite to the Figma file. So thanks for your time, and I should be sending the next video also. So I have one other video I'm supposed to share with you guys based on Web3, designing for Web3 platform. So I'll be sharing that one also within the week. So enjoy your day and have a good night rest, or have a great day ahead. Thank you and goodbye.